Ladies and gentlemen, let's be real, plain, and honest tonight. There's something stirring in the air, something many people avoid addressing directly because it's wrapped in secrecy and subtlety. But today, I'm going to talk about it. If a married woman always does certain things that go beyond the ordinary, as she may be looking to cross a line with you, this is serious, so listen closely. Now, before we get into it, let me be clear. I'm not here to judge or to promote wrongdoing, but sometimes, understanding behavior, intentions, and boundaries can save you and others from trouble. So let's talk about 5 key signs, and let me break them down for you. 1. When a woman creates opportunities to be alone with you, it's not something casual or coincidental. It's a deliberate action that deserves attention because it carries significant meaning. She might accidentally show up in places she knows you'll be, whether that's at a coffee shop, an event, or a casual hangout spot. It's not truly accidental. It's intentional. She's finding ways to be near you, to connect with you in an environment where distractions and other people won't get in the way. These moments are opportunities she's crafting to deepen the bond between you two, to create a space where she can fully focus on you and vice versa. Think about how she might linger longer after a group event, waiting until everyone else has left before striking up a deeper conversation. Or perhaps she conveniently finds reasons to need your help with something, whether it's fixing something, giving her advice, or helping her with a task only you can seem to handle. These aren't random occurrences. They're intentional steps taken to build a connection with you that goes beyond the surface. They allow her to interact with you in a way that's more personal, more meaningful, and more focused. Consider the level of effort involved in these actions. She isn't simply stumbling into these situations. She's making choices that require thought and, often, a certain level of risk. By seeking out these one-on-one moments, she's stepping outside the realm of ordinary friendship or casual acquaintance. Why? Because something within her has already shifted. Her feelings have evolved, and these private interactions are her way of exploring the possibility that your feelings might be shifting, too. These moments aren't without significance. When someone goes out of their way to spend time alone with you, it's worth asking herself, why is she doing this? What is she hoping to gain? And what is she putting at stake? For her, these moments might mean setting aside her own hesitations, dealing with the uncertainty of how you might respond, or even risking the comfort of the existing dynamic between you. The effort she's putting in speaks volumes about the emotions driving her actions. In these interactions, there's a vulnerability on her part that's worth noting. By creating these moments, she's opening herself up to the possibility of rejection, misunderstanding, or even embarrassment. But she's choosing to take that chance because the potential reward and the opportunity to be closer to you is worth it. Her heart has already started to lean in your direction, and her actions reflect that shift. If you're not careful, her intentional efforts can affect you as well. Being drawn into these private spaces has the potential to stir your own feelings. You might begin to notice her in ways you hadn't before, questioning the nature of your relationship or how you feel about her. These moments, small as they may seem, carry a weight that can shape the course of your connection. 2. When a woman shows you unusual affection, it's not always in the form of grand gestures or overt declarations of love. Sometimes, it's in the subtleties of the way she engages with you, the energy she brings to your interactions, and the emotional depth behind her words. This isn't your everyday kindness or politeness. It's what I like to call targeted tenderness. It's personal, intentional, and far from generic. Think about how she compliments you. It's not just a casual "you're doing a good job" or "you look nice today." It's something much more specific and emotionally charged. She might say, "I love how you always manage to keep your cool under pressure," or "there's something about the way you wear that shirt, it just works for you." These aren't just compliments, they're acknowledgments infused with admiration, layered with meaning. Words like these carry a weight that goes beyond the surface. They aren't fleeting or forgettably, they stick with you because they're meant to. Affection paired with this level of intensity or vulnerability isn't something she'd share with just anyone. It's reserved for you, and that's what makes it unusual. There's a sense of exclusivity to the way she interacts with you. She might open up about her insecurities or share thoughts she normally keeps to herself. That level of openness signals trust, but it can also be a form of affection, an invitation to see her in a way others don't. Pay attention to how she behaves when you're together. Does she find ways to linger in your presence, even when there's no real reason to stay? Does she notice small things about you that others overlook, like the way your voice changes when you're passionate about something or how your mood shifts with the weather? This isn't casual observation, it's focused attention, and it reveals how much you occupy her thoughts. You might also notice a subtle change in her tone or body language. There's an undeniable warmth in the way she looks at you, a softness that speaks volumes without a single word. It could be the way she leans in a little closer when you're talking, or how her smile lingers just a bit longer when it's directed at you. These are the small but significant cues that signal her affection, even if she hasn't outright said it. Words have immense power, but so do actions. When her affection starts to surface in these targeted, specific ways, it's worth paying attention. Admiration unchecked can grow into something deeper. The intensity of her admiration might catch you off guard, but it's real and intentional. It's not just about how she feels in the moment, it's about how she sees you, how you make her feel, and how much of her energy and attention she's choosing to give you. This kind of affection is deliberate. It's more than a passing feeling or casual compliment, it's an emotional investment, a way of making her admiration known. And when someone admires you this deeply, it's rarely innocent. 3. When a married woman begins to confide anew about her life, sharing the deepest parts of her emotional world, her fears, doubts, desires, and even regrets, it signals something significant. This isn't just about surface-level trust, it is about forming an emotional connection that goes beyond the usual boundaries of friendship. In these moments, you aren't just someone she talks to, you become someone she relies on for understanding, empathy, and emotional support. When she opens up about her life in a way she hasn't with others, especially her spouse or closest friends, it's a clear indication that she's allowing you into a space that's deeply personal. Trust is an essential part of any relationship, but emotional intimacy takes it a step further. It suggests that she feels comfortable enough to let down her guard and share her vulnerabilities with you. These could be the very same things she might not feel safe sharing with anyone else, not even those she's closest to. This act of confiding isn't just about unloading her emotional burdens onto you, it's about forging a deeper bond. Emotional intimacy requires a level of mutual understanding and a sense of security. If she's turning to you for this, it's likely that she sees you as someone who can provide a space for her to express her thoughts without fear of judgment. This type of connection is rare and powerful, and it should not be taken lightly. When someone shares their most private thoughts with you, they're not just revealing information, they're showing trust, but also seeking comfort, validation, or sometimes even guidance. When a married woman starts to rely on you for emotional support instead of her spouse, it can be an indicator that the emotional distance in her marriage is growing. It's possible that she's looking for something she feels is missing in her relationship with her husband. In this situation, your role becomes even more complex. You're not just a friend anymore, you may be filling a void in her life that she doesn't feel her spouse can fill. This kind of emotional reliance is a delicate area to navigate because it can blur the lines between genuine friendship and something much deeper. It's important to ask yourself, what role are you playing in her life now? Are you a confidant, a friend, or is there something more? Emotional intimacy often paves the way for romantic feelings to develop, and if those feelings start to take root, things can quickly become complicated. Being a source of emotional support can make you a powerful figure in her life, and with that power comes responsibility. You may find yourself in a situation where your feelings toward her shift, or where her feelings toward you deepen. In any case, this dynamic will require careful reflection. You need to evaluate how much emotional involvement you're comfortable with and how you want to move forward. Emotional intimacy can form the basis for a meaningful and lasting relationship, but it can also bring about complexities that require honest communication and self-awareness. 4. When a woman starts showing an unusually high level of attentiveness toward your needs, it's often a subtle yet significant sign that she's emotionally invested in you. It's easy to overlook small gestures, but when she's making an extra effort to check in on you, bringing you your favorite drink, or recalling details about your preferences that others may not even remember, There's more at play than mere kindness. It's not something that typically happens in a casual relationship, and when it does, it's usually a direct reflection of attraction. Think about it. People generally don't go out of their way to make others feel cared for unless they have a deeper connection or feeling toward them. It's a natural response when someone is interested in someone else. You'll notice that she seems genuinely concerned about your well-being, sometimes more than others around you. She may make it a point to bring you coffee at work, send you a thoughtful message when you're feeling down, or offer to help with something without being asked. These actions show a level of attentiveness that goes beyond normal friendship or acquaintanceship. What's interesting about this kind of attention is that it often happens without her explicitly saying anything. You won't hear her announce that she likes you or that she wants to take things further, but her behavior will speak volumes. She's carefully observing you, picking up on your cues, and making sure she's there when you need her, even in small ways. Whether it's adjusting to your work schedule or making sure you're comfortable in social situations, her behavior becomes a clear sign that she's paying attention to what makes you happy and comfortable. This extra care and attention can also manifest in the way she speaks to you. She might check in on you more often than she does with others, asking about your day or your plans with an intent that feels more personal than casual conversation. If you mention something offhand, she'll remember it and bring it up later, showing that she listens and cares about the little things that matter to you. It's a sign of emotional investment, even if she's not openly expressing her feelings just yet. The deeper meaning behind these gestures is that she's not just being kind out of a sense of obligation or politeness. She's actively trying to build a closer bond with you. When she shows up consistently and with intention, she's signaling that she desires to play a more significant role in your life. It's a form of silent communication that often speaks louder than words. This behavior suggests that she wants to be there for you and is willing to invest time and energy into nurturing your connection, even if she doesn't yet know where it might lead. Such actions aren't always explicit or overt. Instead, they're a combination of small, thoughtful gestures that can be easily overlooked if you're not paying close attention. But when pieced together, they create a picture of someone who cares deeply, even if they're not yet ready to fully reveal their feelings. The woman who goes out of her way to make sure you're happy and cared for is showing her attraction in a way that words may never capture, making her attentiveness a crucial indicator of her emotions. 5. She pushes boundaries, then laughs it off. This is one of the most perplexing behaviors to navigate. It often starts with a comment that catches you off guard as something flirtatious, suggestive, or even out of place. At first, you might question whether you heard it right. Did she really just say that? Was it a joke, or was she serious? Before you can even respond, she'll follow up with a quick laugh, as though she's brushing it off with a light-hearted tone. "Oh, come on, don't take me so seriously," she might say, acting as if the moment never even happened. But the thing is, deep down, she knows exactly what she said. There's no confusion in her mind. It wasn't just a slip of the tongue, but a calculated move to test the waters. This is her way of pushing boundaries to see how much she can get away with. It's not about making you uncomfortably, at least, not consciously, but more about gauging how you respond. It's a kind of playful challenge, a way of seeing how far she can go without crossing a line in your eyes. When you laugh it off with her, when you play along with the game, you've unintentionally signaled that the boundary can be pushed further, that it's safe for her to continue testing your limits. At first, these actions might seem harmless. After all, it's just a little playful banter, right? But this kind of dynamic can start to build. One small flirtation leads to another, and before you know it, you're in deeper than you expected. It's subtle at first, with little moments that seem inconsequential, a joke here, a wink there. But as the pattern continues, the lines begin to blur, and the stakes get higher. The more you laugh it off, the more she feels emboldened to say things that are even bolder, more daring, and ultimately harder to ignore. There's a danger in this kind of back and forth. When she pushes, she's testing not just your comfort level, but your resolve. She's gauging whether you'll stand firm or whether you'll cave to the temptation of her attention. It's easy to get caught up in the moment, to think that it's all just harmless fun. But as these moments accumulate, so does the complexity of the situation. You may find yourself questioning the boundaries, wondering whether they were ever truly set in the first place, or if they've been shifting all along without you even noticing. This is where things can start to unravel. If you continue to laugh along with her, if you keep letting these small moments slide, it becomes more than just flirtation. It becomes a game of inches, where each move is designed to test what you're willing to tolerate, how much you're willing to let slide. And once those lines have been blurred, it's difficult to go back. The stakes become higher, and the risks greater, especially when emotions start to get involved. It's crucial to understand that what may seem like a playful comment or a casual flirtation is actually part of a larger pattern. She might act like it's no big deal, but her actions carry meaning. The way she tests the boundaries isn't just a matter of her personality, it's an indication of what she's willing to risk and what she expects in return. And as tempting as it might be to keep laughing along, it's important to remember that every choice you make shapes the future. There's a delicate balance between playing along and preserving your integrity, between enjoying the attention and recognizing the potential for harm down the line. The situation is full of complexity, and it's up to you to decide how to navigate it. When you find yourself in these moments, it's vital to stop and ask, is this a situation I want to continue?